Hello, and welcome to this week's podcast on global tech news by what's new on the net.com. It's great to have you here. I am your host Saurabh Gaswala in the studio, and today is April 10th, 2022. Here are the headlines. No doubt, the biggest story of this week was Elon Musk of Tesla fame buying Twitter stock. And it was a huge stake, 9.2%, which at the time of purchase was worth US $3 billion. Yes, this by the same man who had derided Twitter a few months ago, and also had talked of launching his own social network. And guess what happened after this? There were news reports quoting some Twitter employees as being, quote-unquote, apprehensive of what the maverick Elon would do as the new Twitter board director. So the Twitter management thought it prudent to arrange an interaction between the workforce and the new board director. Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal invited employees to this, saying it would be a chance for them to ask Musk questions directly, according to a story in the Washington Post. While a Twitter spokesman also confirmed that Musk would join Agrawal for this meeting, the exact date of the event has yet to be fixed. Listeners may recall that last week, I had talked of Samsung's right to repair program. This week, on Thursday, the European Parliament decided to adopt an upcoming European Commission proposal on the right to repair, planned for later in 2022, with 509 votes in favor, and a mere 3 against it while there were 13 abstentions. It said in a press release on its website that the Parliament members had agreed that an effective right to repair should address a product's life cycle and take into account product design, ethical production, standardization and consumer information including labeling on repairability and public procurement. It should foster a more efficient use of resources, reduce waste and encourage an extended use of products. The members said they were of the view that a proper right to repair program should give repairers and consumers access to repair and maintenance information, free of charge. Now this is something interesting and one that both app developers and Android app users must pay attention to. Google has decided to clean up the Play Store, and as part of this plan, this week, announced a host of measures. While it won't be possible for me to talk of all of them here, I give you some of the important ones. Google has decided to hide apps that haven't been updated within 2 years of the latest Android OS release to prevent users from downloading them. Which means with Android 12 released last October, developers have until October 2022 to bring their apps up to speed. Also, the new requirements mean that if they wait longer than October 2023, their apps will no longer be discoverable in the Play Store and can't be downloaded by users running newer Android versions. The new policy updates Google announced Thursday will go live at different dates in 2022. For instance, starting May 11th, apps with content that's not globally appropriate will be blocked for users in regions where the content is deemed offensive. Other updates include a change to the Play Store's hate speech policy to ban caste and immigration-related hate speech. I must also tell my listeners that this week, Google also said it had recently removed apps from the Play Store that were secretly collecting users' data. Basically, it had found apps harvesting user data using QR codes, etc. One big stable cleaning act, this. Here's one more news story for developers. Meta of Facebook fame announced earlier in the week that it will not be holding its F8 developer conference this year. Meta announced this from its blog, and said it was pausing the conference this year while it focused on new initiatives, such as the metaverse. In the past, too, Meta had done something similar, taken a break in programming. Some insiders say this was but natural because of Facebook having transformed itself to Meta and due to the entire shift of focus on the metaverse now. Interesting. We will bring you more news on the metaverse as and when it happens.
Here is a shout out to founders, co-founders, CEOs, CTOs and C-suite guys of tech unicorns, businesses and startups around the world. Come share your business story on our weekly podcast. CEO Speak is a new slot we have introduced in which the top management of tech companies can tell the rest of their community of their success, their struggles, and so on. Plus, as a bonus, the same will also be published on our website what'snewonthenet.com. Get your invite by writing into us at what'snewonthenet.com, at gmail.com.
Okay, so now on to one of my favorite segments. All about startups. Today, I am gonna tell you about a startup called Vocally. Vocally is an artificial intelligence-powered text-to-speech startup. It offers several sample audios of voices that sound realistic. Vocally facilitates a text-to-speech option that generates high-quality, natural-sounding audio files in MP3 format that users can download. There are over 560 voices to choose from in over 60 languages. These voices are a collection from cloud providers such as Amazon, Google, IBM and Microsoft. All intonation for the voice's accents are powered by AI technology. Additionally, Vocally offers a lot more than basic text-to-speech transcription. If you want to know more about this startup, head over to our website what'snewonthenet.com.
A word of caution. Listeners are strongly advised to do their due diligence before buying or downloading any of the startups featured here. Startup profiles are only for information purposes and this podcast does not vouch for any of their features.
And with that, it's a wrap. I am at the end of this week's podcast. Hope you have enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed making it. Tune in every Sunday to get a roundup of some of the best tech news stories from around the world. For now, it is your host Saurabh Gaswala saying goodbye. Until we meet next week.